Helena thought she'd moved on. Thought she'd built a new life with her 6-year-old daughter Sophia. But sometimes the universe has other plans. Before we step into this story, make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. The departure board flickered overhead. Flight 447 to Denver. Gate 23. Final boarding call. Helena's new life was just one gate away. Her fingers tightened around Sophia's small hand as they wove through the crowded terminal. The glowing letters above them looked less like information and more like a countdown. "Mommy, why are we walking so fast?" Sophia panted, her little legs pumping to keep up. Helena forced herself to slow, stretching a smile across her face. Felt stiff and wrong. "We don't want to miss our plane, sweetheart." That wasn't the real reason. She was running from the memories packed into every corner of their old neighborhood. From the coffee shop where she'd met Marina every Tuesday. From the park where they dreamed aloud about another baby, another chapter, another future. From the apartment that still held more ghosts than furniture. Sophia adjusted her purple backpack, the one with the unicorn patch Helena had sewn on during a sleepless night when their apartment had felt unbearably silent. "Are we really never coming back?" she asked. The question hit Helena like a punch. She knelt on the cold tile so they were eye to eye. Sophia's deep brown gaze, Marina's eyes, met hers full of trust and curiosity. "Denver will be our new adventure," Helena said, her voice calm from long rehearsal. "New school, new friends, new everything. But what about my old friends? And Mrs. Patterson next door? And the swings at the park? What about everything we're abandoning?" Helena thought. What about the life that exploded when Marina decided they weren't worth staying for? Aloud she said, "You'll make new ones, baby. Good ones." The boarding announcement echoed like a tolling bell. Final call for Flight 447 to Denver. All passengers must board immediately. Helena rose, her knees aching. This was the moment she'd been building toward during 2 years of single motherhood, therapy, and rebuilding. The escape route she'd mapped out in the quiet hours after Sophia fell asleep, and the apartment felt like a mausoleum. She pulled their boarding passes from her bag with shaking hands. The paper felt too thin to carry so much weight. "Come on, Sophia. Time to go." Her heels clicked across the polished floor. Each step a tiny victory. Each one carrying them farther from the day Marina had walked away. Sophia hopped alongside, humming her favorite cartoon theme. At least one of them wasn't dragging a broken heart behind her like excess baggage. The gate agent smiled professionally as they approached. "Just in time. Boarding passes, please." Helena handed them over and felt the finality settle over her like a heavy coat. This was real. They were leaving. She'd survived the lawyers, the paperwork, the quiet evenings alone. She'd learned how to be a single mother. Now it was time to start over somewhere Marina's shadow didn't reach. "Window or aisle?" the agent asked. "Window," Helena answered automatically. She likes to see the clouds. They stepped into the jet bridge. Somewhere between the gate and the plane, Helena's phone buzzed. She glanced down and froze. Marina. She hadn't seen that name on her screen in 8 months. Not since the divorce was finalized. Not since Marina had packed a bag, left a note about needing space, and walked out without looking back. Helena's thumb hovered over the text. Then, with an old practice motion, she deleted it unread. "Mommy, look." Sophia pressed her face to the airplane window once they were seated, fogging the glass. The other planes looked like toys. Helena smiled mechanically, her mind whirling. Why now? Why today of all days, after months of silence and legal signatures and dividing their lives like assets? The flight attendant droned through the safety demonstration. Helena heard none of it. Her thoughts circled around the message she'd erased, the possibilities it represented, the chaos it could unleash. Sophia leaned into her side, eyelids heavy from the early start. "Will you tell me a story when we go up in the sky?" "Of course, baby." But Helena wasn't sure she had any good stories left. Lately, they all seemed to end in someone leaving. The plane taxied toward the runway. Helena stared out at the shrinking terminal buildings. Somewhere out there was the house she and Marina had painted together. The nursery they'd rolled yellow because they wanted to be surprised. The kitchen where they'd argued over bills and chores. The living room where Marina had said she needed space. Such a small word for such a big erasure. The engines roared. Sophia grabbed Helena's hand, eyes wide. We're going fast, Mommy. Yes, Helena thought. Fast, and we're not looking back. But as the plane bumped along the taxiway, doubt prickled at the back of her mind. Was this moving forward? Or just changing scenery? Some problems traveled with you no matter how many miles you put in between. Her phone buzzed again. Another text from Marina. This time Helena's resolve cracked. Hands trembling, she opened it. I'm at the airport. Gate 23. Please don't get on that plane. Her blood went cold. She glanced out the window. They were still on the ground, inching along behind other aircraft. In her anxiety, she'd imagined they were already airborne. The intercom crackled. Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a brief delay due to air traffic control. We'll be on the tarmac approximately 15 minutes before departure. 15 minutes. Marina was here. At their gate. After 8 months of silence, after the divorce, after Helena had carefully rebuilt a Marina-free existence. Mommy, why did we stop? Sophia asked, nose pressed to the window. Just a little delay, sweetheart. Helena's throat felt tight. Sometimes planes have to wait their turn. Her mind raced faster than the engines. How did Marina know about their flight? Helena had told almost no one. Just Rebecca, her sister. The only person she trusted with the whole story. The job in Denver, the new apartment, the hope of a clean start. She typed with stiff fingers. How did you know? The reply came almost instantly. Rebecca told me. She's worried about you. About Sophia. She thinks you're running away instead of dealing with everything. Of course Rebecca would meddle. Helena loved her. But her sister always believed she could fix people with unsolicited honesty. We're fine, Helena wrote back. We're moving on. Are you really? Or are you just changing the scenery and hoping the plane takes a different flight? Helena stared at the words. There was no neat answer. The plane is about to leave, she typed, even though it wasn't moving. No, it's not. I can see it from the window. You're still on the ground, just circling like you don't know where you really want to go. Helena's stomach flipped. Marina could see their plane. She was really at the gate. Really here. Really trying to stop them. Mommy, you look scared, Sophia said softly. Are you scared of flying? Helena tore her gaze from the screen and met those big, perceptive brown eyes. Marina's eyes. Sophia had inherited her uncanny emotional radar, too. I'm not scared of flying, baby. Just thinking. About what? About the woman who helped create you but didn't stay to raise you? About the love that once felt like air and now felt like ash? Just grown-up stuff, Helena said, the same empty phrase she'd used for 2 years. Her phone buzzed again. I know you're angry. You have every right to be. But Sophia deserves to know the truth about why I left. Helena's jaw locked. The truth? The truth was that Marina had walked away when things got hard. When money was tight, Sophia was difficult, and Helena was exhausted. She knows the truth, Helena typed. She knows some people leave when things get tough. That's not what happened, and you know it. Rage surged. Marina had no right to rewrite history now. The captain's voice cut across her fury. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to return to the gate due to a mechanical issue. We apologize for the delay. We'll have you on your way as soon as possible. Return to the gate. Gate 23. Where Marina was waiting. No, Elena whispered. What's wrong, Mommy? Sophia asked. Nothing, Helena lied softly. Just a little problem with the airplane. We'll be flying soon. But in her gut, Helena knew this wasn't random. Whether it was the universe's twisted sense of humor or just bad timing, it was happening. The plane pivoted slowly and rolled back toward the terminal, toward the life Helena had spent 2 years trying to escape. She pressed her forehead to the cool window and watched the gate come into view. Her chest felt like it was wrapped in barbed wire. She hadn't seen Marina since the day they signed the papers, when their marriage had been reduced to signatures and asset lists. But she remembered every detail of her face. The way her dark hair curled when it was humid, the faint scar over her left eyebrow from a childhood bike accident, the soft crinkle at the corner of her eyes when she really laughed. Will we get off the plane? Sophia bounced in her seat. I don't know, baby. Maybe for a few minutes. Her phone buzzed again. I can see your plane coming back. Please, Helena. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. 5 minutes. As if that could erase 2 years of hurt. The plane nudged up to the jet bridge with a dull thump. Helena heard the click and grind of metal as the bridge connected. The flight attendants practiced announcements, the rustle of passengers preparing to disembark. Ladies and gentlemen will need to deplane while maintenance looks at the aircraft. Please take your belongings. We expect to reboard in about an hour. An hour. Helena felt her stomach twist. 60 minutes to stand face to face with the woman who'd promised forever, and then left. 60 minutes to explain Marina's reappearance to a little girl who still asked why some people went away and never came back. Sophia unbuckled eagerly. Come on, Mommy. Let's go explore. Helena gathered their things with unsteady hands. This was happening. She was walking toward Marina. They shuffled off the plane with the other passengers and into the jet bridge. It felt like a tunnel through time. Then they stepped into the terminal. Gate 23. Helena's eyes swept the crowded area automatically, hunting for the one face her muscles still remembered how to search for. There. By the window watching the planes. Dark hair pulled into a ponytail. Jeans. The blue sweater Helena had bought for Christmas 3 years ago. Marina turned. Their eyes met. Time stopped. The noise of the terminal dropped away until all Helena could hear was the violent thudding of her own heart. Her carry-on slipped off her shoulder. Marina looked almost the same. Maybe thinner. New lines bracketing her eyes. Tired, haunted. But still the woman Helena had fallen for in a college literature class. Still the one who'd known how she liked her coffee, how to tell when she'd had a hard day without saying a word. Mommy. Sophia tugged on her hand. Why did you stop walking? The spell broke. Airport sounds rushed back. Rolling suitcases, murmured complaints, overhead announcements. I just thought I saw someone I knew, Helena said. Sophia followed her gaze. Helena saw the exact second understanding dawned. Mama Marina. Sophia's voice was small, as if she didn't quite trust what she was seeing. Helena's heart cracked. Sophia remembered. Of course she did. Marina had been there for 4 years, had taught her to ride a bike, read bedtime stories in silly voices, kissed scraped knees, made animal-shaped pancakes on Sundays. Across the terminal, Marina heard the tiny voice and started toward them, her face a knot of fear and hope. Helena wanted to turn and bolt. Her legs wouldn't move. Hi, Sophia, Marina said when she reached them, dropping to her knees so their eyes met, just like she used to. Her voice wobbled. You've gotten so tall. Sophia studied her, serious and cautious. You went away. The simple sentence sliced through both women. I did, Marina said quietly. And I'm so sorry. Sophia, we need to find somewhere to sit while they fix the plane. Helena cut in, voice sharper than she intended. But Sophia stayed rooted. She looked at Marina the way she looked at a tricky puzzle, face intent. Why did you go away? She asked. Marina glanced up at Helena, silently asking permission. Helena's jaw clenched. Then she gave the smallest nod. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes, Marina said carefully. Sometimes we get scared and do things that hurt the people we love. Did you stop loving us? The question hung between them like a lit fuse. No, Marina said, voice breaking. I never stopped loving you. Either of you. Helena's eyes burned. She'd spent 2 years repeating the story that Marina had just stopped, that it had been easy for her to leave. Hearing otherwise hurt in a different, deeper way. Sophia, come on, Helena said, struggling to keep control. We need to. I don't want to go, Sophia said suddenly louder. She plopped down cross-legged in the middle of the terminal floor, purple backpack clutched like a shield. I don't want to get back on the airplane. Helena stared. Sweetheart, we have to. Our new house is waiting. Remember the pictures? Your new school with the big playground. I don't want a new school. Sophia's chin jutted in a way that was pure Marina. I want to stay here with Mama Marina. The floor seemed to lurch under Helena's feet. This was not how any of this was supposed to go. They were supposed to board, fly, start over. No drama. No scenes. No ex-wives appearing at gates like ghosts. Sophia, honey, Helena said, kneeling again, very aware of Marina at her shoulder. We talked about this. Denver is our fresh start. Why can't Mama Marina come with us? Sophia's question sliced straight through Helena's defenses. Because she left us. Because she chose to walk away. It's complicated, Helena said tightly. I don't understand complicated. Sophia crossed her arms, voice rising. I just want my family back together. Helena's chest ached. This right here was what she'd been trying to avoid. The hope. The questions. The tearing open of wounds that hadn't even healed properly. Sophia, please. We need to go find seats and wait for our plane. No, Sophia jerked her hand away. I'm not going anywhere until you and Mama Marina talk like grown-ups instead of pretending the other person isn't here. Helena looked helplessly at Marina. This was her doing. If she hadn't shown up, if she hadn't stirred everything up, they'd already be halfway to Denver. Maybe we should talk, Marina said quietly. Just a few minutes. For Sophia. For Sophia? Helena's voice went icy. Where was that concern 2 years ago? Marina flinched. Helena, please. I know you're angry. Angry. Helena stood, her voice rising despite herself. I'm not angry, Marina. I'm done. We were done the day you walked out and never looked back. You told me to leave, Marina said, standing to now. I told you to fight, Helena shot back. I told you that if you loved us, you'd find a way to make it work instead of bolting at the first real storm. They faced each other across Sophia, who was still on the floor, watching them like a courtroom judge. Passengers slowed, blatantly eavesdropping, but Helena didn't care. I was trying to protect you, Marina said, voice cracking. From what? From your mess? From my in-laws? From reality? From my mother, Marina said, suddenly raw. From what she was becoming. From the chaos I couldn't keep out of our house anymore. Helena stared, taken aback. What are you talking about? Sophia stood slowly, eyes wide. Are you fighting because of me? Instantly, both women's attention snapped to her. No, sweetheart, Helena said quickly. This isn't about you. You are perfect. Then why can't we all go to Denver together? Sophia asked again, relentless. Why couldn't they? Helene's mind scrambled. Pride, fear, old wounds. None of them sounded like enough spoken aloud. It's not that simple, Helena said. I think grown-ups make things too complicated, Sophia said matter-of-factly, then sat again, planting herself firmly. I'm not getting on that airplane until you figure it out. Helena exhaled sharply. Sophia, you can't just sit in the middle of the airport. People have to walk here. Then go somewhere else to talk, Sophia said, completely unfazed. Like where the chairs are. She pointed to a quieter seating area near the windows, removed from the main traffic. Marina cleared her throat. She has a point. We could sit. Talk. Just a few minutes. Helena wanted to refuse, scoop up Sophia, demand another flight, another life. But Sophia's hopeful face and steady gaze held her in place. Fine, Helena bit out. 5 minutes. They moved to the seating area. Helena chose a chair with her back to the window, watching the gate like it might attack. Marina sat opposite, hands folded, looking uncharacteristically nervous. So, Helena said, clipped. You wanted to talk. Talk. Marina's eyes darted toward Sophia, who was digging through her backpack. Maybe should she hear all of this? She should hear the truth, Helena said. She's old enough to know that sometimes people break their promises. Marina flinched. That's not fair. Fair. Helena hissed. Was it fair when you decided we weren't worth the effort? When you packed a bag and walked out without trying? I did try, Marina burst out, voice fraying. For months. Every conversation turned into a fight. Every time I said I was drowning, you told me to swim harder. Sophia looked up, a small stuffed elephant in her hand. Why are your voices getting loud? Both women immediately dropped their volume. We're just talking, Helena said, pasting on a smile. It sounds like fighting, Sophia observed. She hugged the elephant tighter. Mr. Peanuts doesn't like loud voices. Helena's heart lurched. Mr. Peanuts had been Marina's gift for Sophia's 4th birthday. She still took him everywhere. You're right, Marina said gently, eyes on Sophia. We'll use softer voices. Sorry, Mr. Peanuts. Sophia giggled. For a heartbeat it felt like the old days. Then the moment passed. You said you were protecting us, Helena said quietly, anger cooling into something heavier. From what exactly? Marina stared at her hands. My mother was getting worse. The drinking. The late-night calls. The emergencies. My job was falling apart because I kept leaving to deal with her. I was drowning, Helena. And I was dragging you and Sophia down with me. Helena frowned, memories shifting. Why didn't you tell me it was that bad? I tried. Remember the night Sophia had that stomach bug? You were up with her all night. While you were cleaning up, I got 3 calls. Neighbors saying my mother had wandered outside in her nightgown, confused and scared. When I told you the next morning, you said, "We can't keep dealing with your mother's crises," Helena finished softly. She remembered now. We have our own family to worry about. You were right to feel that way, Marina said. I was frustrated too. But she's my mom. I couldn't just abandon her. Every time I brought her up, you'd get that. Here we go again, look. So I stopped bringing her up. Stopped telling you how bad it was. Sophia's brow furrowed. Where did you go, Mama Marina? I went to take care of Grandma Rose, Marina said, tears glossing her eyes. She was very sick and needed someone with her all the time. Is she better now? Sophia asked. Marina shook her head. She died 6 months ago. The word sucker punched Helena. She hadn't known. While she'd been planning to leave town, Marina had been losing her mother.
Marina, Elena whispered.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea. How could you? Marina's voice was flat with tiredness. I made sure you didn't. I didn't want to drag you back into the mess. You should have told me, Helena said. Would you have wanted to hear it? Marina asked gently. You were so tired. So done with my family's drama. Helena opened her mouth, then closed it again. She remembered the resentment, the exhaustion. She couldn't deny any of it. I thought, Marina continued quietly, if I took myself out of the picture, you and Sophia might finally have some peace. That you'd be better off without my chaos. So you left us instead, Helena said. The accusation had lost its edge. It was tinged now with bewildered hurt. I thought I was doing the right thing, Marina whispered. I was wrong. They sat in silence. Dust after an explosion. Sophia climbed into Marina's lap without a word and wrapped her arms around her. I missed you, she said simply. Marina's tears finally fell. I missed you too, little bird. So much it hurt to breathe. Helena watched them, throat burning. This was what Sophia had lost when Marina left. What they all had. The plane's probably almost ready, Helena said, though she wasn't sure. Do you really want to go to Denver? Marina asked quietly. It's a fresh start, sure. But no family. No roots. Family is complicated, Helena thought aloud. The best things usually are, Marina replied. Can we be a family again? Sophia asked, lifting her head. It's not that simple, Helena said. Why not? Helena looked at Marina. Looked at Sophia. Looked at the life they'd lived broken for 2 years. Because sometimes when things break, you can't glue them back exactly the same, Helena said. Maybe you can make something new, Sophia said. Different. Better. Helena's eyes stung. Maybe. The intercom crackled. Flight 447 to Denver is now ready for reboarding. All passengers, please return to gate 23. Helena's heart stuttered. Decision time. She rose automatically. Patterns and obligations pulling at her feet. Mommy, Sophia's voice wavered. Do we have to go right now? Helena looked down at her daughter curled into Marina's lap like that was the most natural place in the world. Looked at Marina's raw, pleading face. Helena, Marina said quietly. I know I don't have the right to ask you for anything. But please don't go. Not like this. Not without us finally telling each other the truth. What's left to say? Helena asked, tired to the bone. You left. That's the story. I made a mistake, Marina said. The worst one of my life. And I've replayed it every day for 2 years, wondering how to fix what I broke. Helena wanted to cling to anger. It was simpler than this aching tangle of grief, understanding and stubborn love. But Marina's face, drawn and older and open, wouldn't let her. Tell me about your mom, Helena said. All of it. Marina glanced at Sophia, who watched them, clutching Mr. Peanuts like a life raft. Maybe we should, Marina began.
No, Sofia interrupted firmly.
I want to know about Grandma Rose. Helena's chest squeezed. Even now, Sophia still called her Grandma Rose. Marina took a breath. Grandma Rose got very sick, little bird. Her mind got confused. She couldn't remember things. She'd forget where she was. Like when I had the flu and couldn't find my shoes? Sophia asked. Like that, but much worse, Marina said. And it didn't get better. She turned to Helena. Early onset Alzheimer's. She was 58. By the time I moved in with her, she didn't recognize me half the time. Some days she thought I was her sister. Some days she thought I was her mother. Guilt stabbed Helena. She'd known about the drinking, the chaos. She hadn't understood the full horror. Why didn't you tell me? She whispered. I tried, Marina said. Remember when I said I might need to move in with her for a while, and you asked how long a while was and I didn't have an answer? You panicked. I don't blame you. You were worried about Sophia. About our bills. About us. I was scared, Helena admitted. Scared your mother's crises would never end. Scared our life would be one long emergency. And I was scared I was destroying the life we'd built, Marina said. So I picked the wrong solution. I removed myself instead of asking you to share the burden. Final boarding call for Flight 447 to Denver came over the speakers. All remaining passengers must board immediately. Helena's stomach dropped. The last chance to stick to the plan. To choose the easier, cleaner path. Sweetheart, Helena said gently. We really need to go. The plane is leaving. Sophia studied her carefully. Are you still mad at Mama Marina? The question took Helena off guard. Anger had been her constant companion for 2 years. But now it felt different. Thinner. Laced with sorrow, yes, but also with something like understanding. I'm hurt, Helena said, honest for once. I'm hurt she left. That she didn't trust me enough to tell me everything. That she made decisions for all of us alone. I'm sorry, Marina said hoarsely. I thought I was protecting you. I was really just too afraid to ask for help. And I was selfish, Helena admitted. I wanted a calm life so badly I shut my eyes to how much you were struggling. Sophia looked from one to the other. So you both made mistakes. Yes, they said together. But you still love each other, she said. Helena's breath hitched. She looked at Marina. The answer was obvious in both their faces. It's not that simple, Helena started. Why not? Sophia asked. If you love each other and you're sorry, can't you just forgive each other and try again? Forgiveness is scary, Helena thought, but little kids don't know that yet. Because what if we mess up again? Helena said. Then you say sorry, Sophia said simply. And try harder. Marina let out a wet laugh. When did you get so wise, little bird? You told me, Sophia replied. You said mistakes help us learn. The gate agent's voice crackled one last time. Flight 447 to Denver is now departing. The aircraft door is closed. Helena watched the words on the board update. Flight 447 departed. A strange, cool relief washed through her. Well, she said quietly. I guess we're not going to Denver today. The flight disappeared from the departure screen like a dream evaporating in daylight. Months of planning, of imagining a new zip code, a new life, gone with one missed boarding call. Are we in trouble for missing our plane? Sophia asked, still tucked into Marina's side. No, sweetheart, Helena said, though she had no idea what came next. We're not in trouble. But they were stranded. Her brain jolted into crisis mode. Hotel, new tickets, calls to the Denver apartment office, her new job, Sophia's school. Costs stacking in her mind like bills on a kitchen counter. Helena, Marina said softly. Breathe. Helena exhaled shakily. Somehow, even after 2 years apart, Marina still recognized her spiral. I need to make calls, Helena said, reaching for her phone. Figure out what we're doing. Or, Marina said carefully, you could come stay with me tonight. Both of you. Just until you decide your next step. Helena froze. Stay. At the house they used to share. The house where Marina had packed her bag and left one terrible Tuesday. I don't think that's a good idea, she said automatically. Why not? Sophia piped up. I want to see my old room. Are my glow-in-the-dark stars still there? Marina smiled, tentative but real. Every single one. I never took them down. Something clenched in Helena's chest. Marina had kept Sophia's room waiting like a light left on. Please, Marina whispered. Just for tonight. No big decisions. Just don't disappear again yet. Helena scanned the bustling terminal. Families, business travelers, students. All moving forward while her own life had just slammed into reverse. Okay, she heard herself say. Just for tonight. Sophia squealed and squeezed Marina's neck. Can we have smiley face pancakes for breakfast? If your mom says yes, Marina answered, looking at Helena for approval. Helena nodded, dazed. They picked up Helena's checked bag, then followed Marina to the parking garage. The blue Honda they bought together was still there. The kid's car seat was gone, but faint dents and impressions marked where it had once been. I kept meaning to trade it in, Marina said. But I couldn't. Too many memories. They drove through familiar streets. Sophia pointed out landmarks as if she'd been away for years instead of months. There's the park with the good swings. And there's Mrs. Peterson's house with the mean cat. And the ice cream shop where we got my unicorn cake. Helena watched the past slide by. The coffee shop where she and Marina had shared hurried lunches. The grocery store of their first stupid couple's argument. The pediatrician's office where they both hovered over newborn Sophia like she was made of glass. Finally, Marina turned onto a street Helena knew by heart, and pulled into the driveway of the small blue house they bought when Sophia was 3. It looked exactly the same, wind chimes on the porch, flower beds framing the walk. Home! Sophia crowed, unbuckling. Helena hadn't called this place home in 2 years. But the word didn't feel as wrong as it should have. They climbed the steps together. Marina's hand shook slightly as she unlocked the door. I should warn you, she said, nervous. I haven't exactly been Martha Stewart since. But when they stepped inside, the house was neat. Still. Familiar. As if it had been waiting. Sophia bolted down the hall toward her old room. Helena followed more slowly, bracing herself. The bedroom was unchanged. Glow-in-the-dark stars still mapped constellations across the ceiling. Books lined the shelves. Stuffed animals perched on the bed. Art supplies sat neatly in their plastic bins. You kept everything, Helena said, voice thick. Marina leaned in the doorway, eyes on Sophia's delighted face. I kept hoping you'd come back, she said softly. Both of you. Helena turned to her. Marina looked older, yes, but also more open, more fragile, more real. Regret and hope flickered in her expression. Marina, Helena began, then faltered under the weight of all the things she wanted to say. I know, Marina said. I know I don't deserve another chance. But seeing you at that gate today, I remembered what it felt like to be happy. Helena blinked back tears. I was happy too. Before. We could be happy again, Marina said gently. Maybe not the same, but maybe better. Sophia popped up from a pile of stuffed animals. Are you guys gonna cry again? Mr. Peanut says crying is okay, but too much makes his fur all wet. They both laughed weakly. We're okay, little bird, Marina said. Just talking. Good, Sophia said. Because I'm hungry. And I want to show Mr. Peanut's the kitchen where we made dinosaur cookies. In the kitchen, Marina grilled cheese sandwiches while Sophia narrated a dramatic tour of each drawer and cabinet to her elephant. Helena sat at the table, watching, feeling like she'd stepped sideways into an alternate version of her life. This is surreal, she said. Good surreal or bad surreal? Marina asked, flipping a sandwich. I don't know yet, Helena admitted. They ate together, listening to Sophia chatter about classmates and a classroom hamster named Mr. Whiskers. For the first time in a long time, Helena really listened. Afterward, Marina bathed Sophia while Helena called the airline. The Denver apartment complex, her new job. She lost the security deposit, but got a sympathetic promise to revisit the job start date. Sophia's new school agreed to hold her spot for a few days. Everything okay? Marina asked when Helena ended the last call. I think so, Helena said. I'll need to figure out work, but we have some savings. We'll manage. And Sophia's school? I bought her a little time, Helena said. So we can figure this out. What happens next? Marina said quietly. Yeah. What do you want to happen next? She asked. Helena stared at her. This morning the answer had been simple. Denver. Now nothing was simple. I don't know, she said truthfully. I need time. We have time, Marina said. As much as you need. That night after Sophia fell asleep in her old bed surrounded by rediscovered toys, Helena and Marina sat on the front porch swing they'd hung together years ago. The air was cool, full of crickets and distant traffic. I missed this, Helena said quietly. Not just the house. This. Sitting next to you. Feeling like I belong somewhere. You always belonged here, Marina said. Even when you weren't in it. I was so angry, Helena admitted. Angry felt safer than admitting how much I missed you. I was angry too, Marina said. Mostly at myself. They rocked in silence, letting the day settle. Do you think we can really do this? Helena asked finally. Try again. Marina's hand found hers, fingers threading like they had muscle memory. I think we have to try, she said. For Sophia. For us. For all the time we've already lost. Hope bloomed, tentative but real. Okay, Helena said. Let's try. Helena woke in her old bed, disoriented for a moment. Then it all rushed back. The airport, the delay, Marina at the window, Sophia sitting cross-legged in protest, the missed flight. Downstairs, she heard Sophia's bright chatter and Marina's softer responses. The sounds of breakfast. The sounds of home. For the first time in 2 years, the knot of anxiety in her chest felt looser. She dressed slowly, noticing how little had changed in the bedroom. The same worn novel still lay on her nightstand, bookmark halfway through, exactly where she'd left it. In the kitchen, flour dusted the counter like snow. Sophia stood on a stool, stirring pancake batter while Marina guided her hands. Mommy! Sophia beamed when she saw her. Mama Marina remembered the smiley face ones. Helena looked at the pan. A pancake grinned up at her, blueberry eyes and strawberry mouth. It's perfect, she said, voice catching. Marina studied her carefully. How do you sleep? Badly, Helena said, managing a wry smile. But that's not your fault. My brain wouldn't turn off. They moved through breakfast like a family that had never been broken. Afterward, Sophia scampered off to play. Helena and Marina cleaned the kitchen together, sliding around each other in familiar patterns. I called Rebecca, Helena said, drying a plate. Told her you showed up.
Marina tensed.
And, she said. Finally. Helena huffed a surprised laugh. Apparently she's been waiting 2 years for me to admit I wasn't over you.
Marina blinked.
She still likes me? She never stopped. They put away the last dish. I need you to know something, Marina said, turning to face her. I don't expect you to just take me back. Showing up yesterday was selfish and I know it. Then why did you come? Helena asked. Because I couldn't let you leave thinking I didn't love you, Marina said simply. I could live with a lot of regrets but not that one. For 2 years I really believed you'd stopped loving us, Helena said, tears bright in her eyes. Never, Marina said fiercely. Not for one day. Even when I told myself leaving was the right choice, I still loved you. Helena searched her face and saw only truth. I never stopped loving you either, she admitted. I tried. I really tried. But I couldn't. Silence stretched, heavy with all the words they hadn't said. So what do we do now?
Marina whispered.
Helena drew a long breath. I know I'm tired of running. I know Sophia deserves both of us. And I know what we had was worth fighting for. Even if we didn't the first time. Tears glimmered in Marina's eyes. Are you saying? I'm saying I want to try again, Helena said. Differently. With honesty. With better boundaries. With the understanding that families are messy and that's not a failure. Marina stepped closer. Close enough that Helena could smell the familiar scent of her shampoo. Are you sure? Because I can't survive losing you again. Helena took her hands. The old scar on Marina's thumb. Small calluses from gardening. Details Helena hadn't realized she remembered. I'm scared, Helena said. But I'm sure. Marina pulled her into a hug. Helena sank into it like a traveler collapsing into her own bed after a long journey. Ew, are you guys hugging? Sophia asked from the doorway, though her eyes were sparkling. They broke apart, laughing. Yes, we're hugging, Helena said. Is that okay? Sophia pretended to think, then nodded. It's okay. But group hugs are better. She barreled into them, wrapping her arms around both their waists. They folded inward, 3 bodies forming a circle. So we're staying? Sophia asked, looking up. Helena glanced at Marina, at Sophia, around the kitchen that had never really stopped being home. We're staying, she said. 6 months later, Helena stood in that same kitchen watching Marina and Sophia bake chocolate chip cookies for a school bake sale. Flour streaked Sophia's cheek. Music played quietly from a speaker. Artwork covered the fridge. 2 coffee mugs sat in the sink every morning now instead of 1. It hadn't been easy. They'd gone to counseling. They'd argued. They'd learned new ways to talk about old wounds. They'd picked through the wreckage of the past and decided what to keep and what to burn. They'd also laughed. A lot. Helena's phone buzzed. A text from Rebecca. So, how's married life 2.0? Helena smiled and typed back. Like coming home. Because that's what it was. Not perfect. Not simple. But real. Built on forgiveness, hard conversations, and the choice over and over to stay. Mommy, are you happy? Sophia asked suddenly, looking up from the mixing bowl, chocolate on her chin. Helena looked at her daughter. At Marina measuring flour. At the life they were stitching back together, not exactly as before but better. Yes, baby, she said, and for the first time in 2 years every word rang true. I'm happy. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and tell me in the comments what you think about love that comes back home. Sometimes the best endings grow out of the courage to stay and fight for what matters most. Sometimes home isn't a place at all. It's the people who choose you, even when love is complicated.